What is up, you guys? Welcome to another video. Thank you for tuning in. So, have you ever gone to a doctor's appointment and walked away feeling like you had literally none of your questions answered and you felt pretty demoralized? Or you felt like they literally didn't care? Or maybe you were asking things and they were just sort of glossing over and giving you these really vague answers and you walked away feeling really frustrated. So if that's ever happened to you, then this video is for you, because today we're going to be talking about how to advocate for yourself in a doctor's office. Doesn't matter what kind of office it is, whether it's in a clinic, a hospital, doesn't matter what country you are in, these tips will help you be prepared and learn how to self-advocate. And this is extremely important. This is something that I struggled with when I was younger, and I feel like so many weird things happen to me. And it's just like I walked away from so many appointments feeling so like bad about myself, and it's so unnecessary. And I'm here to teach you how to not have that feeling ever again, okay? And I'm a registered nurse, I'm a digital creator, and I'm a mom, and my name is Rachel. So stay tuned. So what does being your own advocate mean? Well, it means standing up for yourself. It means asking questions. It means understanding what is going on with your health, because in the end, this is your health. This is your body, okay? And I want you to look at the provider, whether it's a doctor or a physician's assistant or a nurse practitioner, look at them as your partner. They are your partner in figuring out what is going on with your health, and they are there to help create a roadmap for you, and you're gonna walk hand in hand down this journey with them. So don't think of them as your boss, they're your superior. These people are not superior to you. You might be like, well, I'm just like, I work at I'm a sales clerk. I work at Walmart, and this guy is like a doctor. Literally doesn't matter. That's just another human being. He just happens to choose, he happened to be a physician. That's what he happened to go to school for. And you happen to work at Walmart. You're equal, okay? So do not ever don't put them on a pedestal, because it's unnecessary. And it creates this weird fear, this weird white coat syndrome where you get this anxiety. And I'm not saying that's gonna go away completely, but I'm saying you are no less than them, okay? And this is your healthcare partner. This is your coach, essentially. You're partnering with them. They're here to serve you. So this will help you understand treatment options, if there's a new diagnosis, medications, and you'll feel more empowered. Even if you do get a negative diagnosis, something that isn't the best news ever, the more empowered you are, where you have your questions answered, you feel heard, and you feel like your provider is your partner, it's gonna make that a lot better. It's gonna make the process a lot better. So it also allows your provider to take better care of you. If we go into appointments and we're not able to articulate what it is going on, what the side effects we're experiencing specifically, the provider's not gonna have all the answers. They're not gonna have all the pieces of the puzzle. Okay, so this is gonna allow for them to care for you better. So it's a win-win. So before your appointment, the first thing you're gonna do is you're going to identify your goals. What is the reason that you are going to see this person? So get very specific. What do you want to get out of this visit? What are your symptoms? What are your concerns? And just go hard with it. Like, go deep and go grimy, get dirty. Talk about your bowel movements. Talk about all of the things, even if you feel like it's kind of embarrassing or whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm a nurse. I wipe like a couple of butts every day for sure, you guys. Like, I've seen it all. The providers have seen even more. Like, you know what I mean? So don't feel embarrassed. Just get all your questions answered, okay? Or explain your main concerns and symptoms. Number 2 is prepare your questions. And you're like, okay, well, what am I writing, like an essay? No. This is very simple. This is get out the notes in your phone, jot some things down. You don't need to write a Word doc or a PDF. Jot some notes in your phone, or simply get out a piece of paper and a pen. Do it in the car in the parking lot before you go in. Like, this doesn't have to take a lot of time, but it's key, because when we get into this little office with this person, and maybe they're wearing a white coat because they're old school, because a lot of them don't even wear coats anymore, it plays tricks on our brain. We start talking mumbo jumbo. We don't know how to speak properly. We forget half the things that we even went there for. Just literally pull out your notes and read off the list. Read off the list. You have time with this provider. Take advantage of every second of time you have with this person, okay? So list anything you want to ask. Literally no stupid questions. This is your health, and it is paramount. It is very important. Number 3, know your medical history. So For those of us in the US, in Wisconsin, we have My Chart. It's your chart. You can just scroll through it. They see it. You see it. It's very transparent. In other countries, it may be a little different. But know your medical history. Know your medications you're currently taking. What are your allergies? What are past diagnoses you've had? And any kind of medical treatments you've had. A lot of times you have to fill out an intake form anyways where you list these things. A lot of us have these top of mind. But just in case, have these handy. Number 4, bring support. If you're nervous or overwhelmed or anything, you guys, bring a friend. If you have a friend that you know that is a badass and they won't let me not ask that question, even if it's embarrassing or whatever, bring that friend or family member. If you don't have that friend or family member, then just make sure you have everything written down and go in with the mindset that you're just going to read off this list. You don't even have to look them in the eye. Just read off the list. But if you do have a support person, definitely bring them along. So during your appointment, communicate clearly. So explain your symptoms, your concerns, explain what it is that you want to achieve with this visit. Don't hold anything back. Be very concise. And again, this is your partner. Do not be intimidated by this person. This person is there to help you figure out what is going on with your body. This is what they chose to do for school. This is what they chose to study. This is their profession. This is their job. Get specific. So ask questions. If they're talking in medical jargon that you don't understand, sometimes they forget. You got to slow the roll. You got to say, oh, time out. I didn't understand that. Could you please say that again in layman's terms? Or just say, I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're talking about. Could you please explain it to me in a different way so that I understand? That's completely okay, because sometimes the providers forget. They're so used to speaking in medical terms that they forget that they're talking to someone that isn't familiar with the medical terms. So they're not trying to pretend that they're better than you or talk down to you. That's how it feels, and it's an ineffective communication strategy, but sometimes they literally just forget. So just say, I don't understand. Things like, what are the risks and benefits of that? Or what are my alternatives? Like, say, for instance, a vaccination schedule for a baby. Oh, I see that this is the vaccination schedule. Are there any alternatives to that? Or they've told you that you need to do this exact thing. Are there any alternatives to that? Always ask, are there any alternatives to that? Like with medications, they want to prescribe you a certain medication. Say, are there any alternatives to that? What is the generic of that medication? Because there's 2 different medications. There's a really expensive one, and then there's a generic version. So, and it's the same thing. So another thing you could do is you could use medical language. If you know some medical language, you could use it on them. Say, what is your differential diagnoses for my symptoms? Even if that's the only thing you say, and see what they say. Because this will encourage the doctor to kind of consider all possibilities, and then they realize like, oh, this person they're speaking my language. So if you're comfortable with that, you can always do that too. Take notes. This one I really like. This is a great thing to do in a job interview as well, you guys. Pro tip. I will be doing a video on that as well. But take notes, because this clues the provider in. Oh, they're literally writing down verbatim everything I'm saying. I better make sure I'm dotting my I's and crossing my T's. I better make sure everything I'm saying to this person, I'm not messing anything up. I'm not glossing over anything, because they're taking notes. Take notes. Let's see. Don't be rushed. If you need more time, say so. They're like, well, we got to wrap this up, and they start packing up their stuff. Actually, I have one more question. Actually, I need a little more clarity on this. Could you explain this one more time? I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable about what you said. You just keep going, stay in the room. They can't actually physically kick you out, okay? So after your appointment, you want to review your notes. Make sure you understand the care plan, your medications, next steps. You also want to follow up. If they've told you they're going to look into that medication for you, for an example, I went to an appointment with my dad. He asked me to be there with him as his advocate because he was having difficulty getting his questions answered because he was getting frazzled. So I went there with him. There were certain questions that he had that he was sort of nervous about asking. I asked about a certain medication he was on that he's wanting to get off. They danced around the whole thing. They said, well, we're going to have to contact the cardiologist, and we'll get back to you. Great, that's great. When will I expect to hear from you? I'm thinking probably about Thursday. Okay, great. Thursday, wait till the end of the day. If they haven't contacted you, Friday morning, you're calling. Hi, I'm calling to follow up on the medication change that I requested at my appointment on Tuesday with Dr. blah, blah, blah. Follow up. That's also key with a job interview. Keep records. So this is for someone that doesn't have MyChart or a digital app for their medical record. You keep all your after visit summaries. Ask them to print your after visit summary because it'll have your vital signs and everything that you talked about that the provider wrote down. If you don't like what's going on, I'm telling you guys, if you do not like the vibe your doctor is giving you, so say you go in, you're an advocate, everything's great, and they're still giving you pushback, you're feeling uncomfortable, you're feeling like they really just aren't seeing you or hearing you, even when you've done these tips that I'm recommending, find a different provider. You are not obligated to stay with that provider if they are not meeting your needs and if they make you feel a certain way. You do not need to do that. Okay? You don't need to do that. And you can seek a second opinion for a diagnosis. Highly recommend you do that always. If they diagnosed you with something, say, I would like to get a second opinion. Then they really know this person is serious about their health. So if you've had a negative diagnosis, something that's really difficult to deal with, you can also ask the provider to connect you into a support group. They have all sorts of resources that they can give you. They can give you referrals. That's another thing. Say you just had a baby and you're having some issues. They can refer you to a pelvic floor specialist. Different countries are going to do this differently, but you typically need to be referred to see a specialist. So make sure you advocate for yourself and you say, oh, you're talking about something that, like there's something going on with my pelvic floor. So who specializes in that? Even if you didn't know it was a pelvic floor specialist, for instance, or if you're having certain issues with your feet, see your primary care provider and say, I would like a referral to see a podiatrist about this issue. Or just say, who's the specialist that you can put me in touch with? This type of direct language, okay? So build a relationship with this doctor. It's all about trust. And like I said, if you don't trust them and you feel like they're not hearing you and you don't like the vibe, find someone else because you deserve to have a trustworthy, symbiotic relationship with your provider because you're supposed to be partners in your health, okay? So you have the right to be heard. You have the right to be respected. You are an equal to that person. Never, ever feel less than. Okay? You need to advocate for yourself. This is very important. This is your health. This is your life. And they work for you. When I'm doing dialysis and I'm in the hospital and I'm taking care of a patient, I am providing a service to that patient. I am going to make them as comfortable as I possibly can. I am going to give excellent customer service. And if you're not receiving excellent customer service from the provider in the form of warmth, trust, empathy, sincerity, looking at you in the eyes, nodding when you're speaking to acknowledge that they're listening, you deserve better and you find somebody else, okay? So don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And you know what? You know your body better than anyone. You do. So trust in yourself. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.